Most people think Elon Musk was born rich and got lucky. But here's what actually happened. He moved to a foreign country with nothing, dropped out of one of the best universities in the world after just 2 days, and bet every single dollar he had on companies that almost destroyed him. So how does a guy like that end up owning the world? Elon Reeve Musk was born on June 28, 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa. And from the outside, his life looked comfortable. His father, Errol, was a wealthy engineer. His mother, May, was a model and dietitian. But inside those walls? It was chaos. His parents divorced when he was 9. And at school Elon was the weird kid. The quiet one. The one who read encyclopedias for fun. He finished the entire Britannica by the time most kids were learning multiplication tables. And because of that, he got bullied. Badly. Once, a group of boys threw him down a flight of stairs and beat him until he was unconscious. But here's the thing about Elon Musk, he didn't escape into sports. He didn't escape into friends. He escaped into computers. At 12 years old, he taught himself to code. And then he built a video game called Blaster and sold it to a computer magazine for $500. He was 12. That $500 didn't change his life. But the mindset behind it? That changed everything. Airplane Act 2, leaving everything behind. At 17, Elon Musk made the biggest decision of his life. South Africa required young men to serve in the military, and Elon wanted no part of an apartheid army. So he left. No big farewell. No safety net. He moved to Canada on his mother's citizenship, worked odd jobs, cut logs, cleaned boilers at a lumber mill, and eventually made his way to the University of Pennsylvania on a scholarship. He got 2 bachelor's degrees. Economics and physics. Not 1, 2. And then in 1995, he got accepted into a PhD program at Stanford University. One of the most prestigious institutions on Earth. He showed up. And 2 days later, he quit. Why? Because the internet was exploding and Elon Musk wasn't going to sit in a classroom while the world was being reinvented outside. He and his brother Kimball started a company called Zip2. Basically a digital city guide that helped newspapers put their content online. Not glamorous. Not revolutionary. But it worked. 4 years later, in 1999, Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million. Elon Musk walked away with $22 million at 27 years old. And what would most people do with $22 million at 27? Buy a mansion. Buy a Ferrari. Retire. Elon Musk put almost all of it into his next company. Act 3, the PayPal era and the big bet. In 1999, Musk founded X.com, an online payment company. It eventually merged with a competitor to become something you've definitely heard of. PayPal. In 2002, eBay acquired PayPal for $1.5 billion. Elon Musk's cut? $165 million. Now he had real money. Serious money. Life-changing, generational, never work again money. And here's where most people's story ends. They cash out. They play it safe. But Elon Musk sat down and asked himself one question: what problems actually matter? His answer? 2 things. Making humanity multiplanetary. And ending our addiction to fossil fuels. So in 2002, he founded SpaceX with $100 million of his own money. And in 2004, he invested in a tiny electric car startup called Tesla. His friends thought he'd lost his mind. They were almost right. Found in. Warning pattern interrupt, the year everything collapsed. 2008. Let me paint you a picture. The global economy is crashing, the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. And Elon Musk is somehow having a worse year than everyone else. SpaceX had launched 3 rockets. 3 rockets. All 3 failed. He had 1 launch left. 1. If it failed, SpaceX was dead. Gone. Finished. At the same time, Tesla was burning through cash so fast they had less than 2 weeks of operating costs left. The company was days away from shutting down forever. His divorce was being finalized. He had gone through his entire PayPal fortune. He was literally borrowing money from friends to cover his personal bills. In an interview years later, he said, and I quote, "I thought we were going to fail." And then, on December 23, 2008, SpaceX launched its 4th rocket. And it worked. NASA immediately awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract. That same week, Tesla secured emergency funding from its investors, just barely surviving. 2 companies. 1 week. 2 miracles. That night, Elon Musk reportedly cried. Act 4, the empire rises. From that moment, everything changed. In 2010, Tesla went public on the stock market. It was the first American car company to IPO since Ford in 1956. Investors were skeptical. Analysts said it would fail. By 2021, Tesla was worth more than the next 9 car companies combined. SpaceX became the first private company to launch astronauts to the International Space Station. They pioneered reusable rockets, something NASA said was impossible, and slashed the cost of getting to space by over 90%. Today, SpaceX controls more than 60% of the entire global launch market. And then in 2022, Musk made the move that shocked the entire world. He bought Twitter for $44 billion, rebranded it as X, and declared he was building the everything app for Western civilization. Love him or hate him, you cannot ignore the scale of what he's built. Tesla, SpaceX, XAI, Neuralink, The Boring Company. 6 companies. Multiple industries. 1 person. Megaphone mid-roll CTA. Before we get into the actual numbers, the financial breakdown, what he's worth right now, and the insane $1 trillion pay package that was just approved, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. Because we break down stories like this every week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Moneybag Act 5, the financial breakdown. Alright. Let's talk money. Because the numbers here are almost impossible to comprehend. As of April 2026, Elon Musk's net worth is estimated at $809 billion. To put that in perspective, if you spent $1 million every single day, it would take you over 2,000 years to spend what Elon Musk is worth right now. So where does that money actually come from? Tesla, the electric vehicle company he joined as an investor, is now worth over $1 trillion. Musk owns roughly 13% of it. That alone is over $130 billion. SpaceX, his private rocket company, has never gone public, but it's valued at over $350 billion. Musk owns about 42% of it. Do the math, that's over $147 billion from one private company. XAI, his artificial intelligence company, was just merged with SpaceX in 2026 and is valued at over $100 billion. And then there's X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, which Musk bought for $44 billion and many people thought was a terrible deal. But Musk is now using it to build a financial payments system that could rival PayPal. His second payments revolution. And here's the number that stops everyone cold. In November 2025, Tesla's board approved a compensation package for Musk worth potentially $1 trillion. Paid out over 10 years if he hits specific performance targets. $1 trillion. That is a pay package larger than the entire GDP of most countries on Earth. Direct hit Act 6, the lesson and payoff. So what's the actual lesson here? Because it's not be born smart. And it's not get lucky. The real pattern in Elon Musk's financial story is this: he never once played it safe. When he had $22 million, he bet it all. When he had $165 million, he split it between 2 companies that nearly killed him. When he had billions, he spent $44 billion on a platform the whole world told him was worthless. Every single time, he went all in on a vision that most people thought was crazy. The rockets were crazy. The electric cars were crazy. Buying Twitter was crazy. And right now, in 2026, Elon Musk is worth $809 billion, racing toward becoming the world's first trillionaire. The man who once borrowed money from friends to pay his rent. Whether you admire him or despise him. Elon Musk's financial story is the most extreme example in modern history of what happens when someone refuses to accept the limits that everyone else sets for them. And that is the real story of the world's richest man. If you made it this far, you clearly love stories like this. So here's what I want you to do right now: drop in the comments, was Elon Musk brilliant, lucky, or both? I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one, thank you.